Hi Scorpio, welcome to your September Astro-Tarot scope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. But if you're only going to watch one, I do advise that you make sure it's your ascendant sign because it's going to be the most accurate for you because these are based on the astrology. With that said, they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody. That is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. I use whole sign tropical Western astrology for the readings that I do. And with that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share. And if you should so choose and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So these will be for your moons. This will be for the bulk of your read. So the first transit that I want to look at for you, Jupiter, the Lord of expansion, growth, abundance, and integrity, is coming into an exact trine with Mercury retrograde. And so for you, this is happening across the 7th house, which is where Jupiter is, and Jupiter's retrograde in that 7th house. And Mercury will be in your 11th house, right? So it's not a big deal that both of these planets are retrograde. What is a big deal is that the fact that they're coming into an exact trine like this, right? So Mercury goes retrograde 3 to 4 times a year. Jupiter goes retrograde once a year for about 3.5 to 4 months. Give or take. This is, for me, when I saw this, I was like, yeah, it's because they're connecting in exactitude. That's what really struck me here. And I was like, okay, I've got to talk about this. So for you, this is happening across the 11th house of friendships, social networks, you know, and your higher goals, dreams and aspirations for the future. It's also the space of benefactors, people that can help you. The 7th house is partnerships, relationships, commitment, significant one-to-one connections. Now, a partner doesn't have to be, you know, your significant other. This can be personal, it can be professional, it can be platonic. The 7th house is also your competitors. So it's here, you're rethinking a long-term goal with a partner, right? And it's like a long-term goal with a competitor, maybe. Like maybe you look at your competitors and say, right, okay, in the future, I'm going to beat you, right? Maybe you're number one at the moment, but I'm going to be number one later on. It might also be that a benefactor or a support system that you once had in place with a partner is now being considered for whether it is or isn't valuable to you. Remember the retrograde energy, it can bring things back from the past. Jupiter is opportunities. Jupiter's in your 7th house at the moment. So this can bring back old partnerships and connections in some way, shape or form. Mercury is in that 11th house and it's exalted in the 11th house because it's in the sign of Virgo, which is the sign that it rules. This is providing you with a speeding up of connections and communications that can be beneficial, but maybe you have too many and you're asking yourself, okay, which ones of these are actually important and where and who, like where do I need to go and who is it that I'm actually going to need in order to scale up? And you know, in terms of needing to scale up, what is it that I need to scale back on? Remember, the retrograde is redoing, relaunching, rethinking, redefining, redesigning, you know, researching as well, something that you guys are naturally very good at. This could bring back, or you could hear from, you know, Mercury in the 11th, this could, Mercury retrograde in the 11th, this could be old friends, old connections, old benefactors that you've been tied to, old partnerships, because it's in that exact trine to Jupiter retrograde in the 7th. You and a partner, you know, personal, professional or platonic, might decide that there's something more that you desire to do. And maybe now you're starting to look for the right connections to make that happen. So this could be really nice. For this, you've got the Daughter of Cups. So this is the Page of Cups with the World card. Okay. And the 5 of Pentacles. So there's a few ways that this will shape up, right? One of them is you could be rethinking your friendships and connections. It looks like some of you may be breaking ties with a specific type of community. Nothing wrong with that. I think this is perfect time to do it. The other thing is you could be reconnecting or redefining a community in some regard. And because you've got the Page of Cups here, it's like rather than just thinking about this from the, you know, from your mind, you're really checking in with this with with your heart and you're following your intuition. That Five of Pentacles tells me that there's probably going to be, there's something that you're going to have to give up here in order to go for something that's new, or in order to assimilate something. So, you know, because the Five of Pentacles is a card of loss, and because it comes up with the World card, I wonder if this is releasing a certain friendship tie or a certain community, or maybe a member of a community in some regard. So that's the 4th of September. On the 8th of September, in the same houses, the 7th house and the 11th house, the sun is going to come into the sign of Virgo, and it's trining that Jupiter retrograde, right? So the sun and Jupiter connecting in a trine is one of the luckiest aspects in astrology. So partners and collaborators could be providing lucrative opportunities for growth and expansion here, which is beautiful. This is, like I said, it's one of the luckiest energies out there. And so this could be happening in, and that Jupiter in the space of benefactors, sun in the sign of benefactors. The sun is authority figures. Jupiter is dignitaries, celebrities, people that are, you know, high up in status. So this could literally be you're partnering up with someone that not only helps you get ahead, but also helps you start to build a dream of yours for the future in a way that is easy, maybe possibly really a lot of fun as well, and very light. Not necessarily scorpionic traits that you're known for, but even still, tap into that energy. There's a lightness around you at the moment. You're illuminated in certain ways, and I would use this. The sun in the 11th is actually the ruler of your career sector. So it's showing you how to get the most out of your business, your work, your career, and in terms of making money from it as well. This is new connections that are being forged here in response to the releases that you made last month and earlier, you know, prior to it. So it's like, yes, you are going to have to release some stuff, or to, you know, renegotiate some stuff possibly as well. But there are new things coming in here as well. Jupiter retrograde in that 7th is reconnecting you to past or missed opportunities or connections that weren't able to move forward at the time for any reason, right? Life is life at the end of the day. I love this connection for you because it speaks really nicely to work, to your daily experiences, and even if you've got like animals and pets, you could be getting a lot of joy from them. What makes this so special is kind of like, this is maintenance of your body and your health is also really easy at this time, and you guys have been through the ringer when it comes to health for quite a while, so I think this will be like a welcome sort of energy for you. For this, you've got the 3 of Swords. So again, there's something that's needing to be released in order to have the Great. Then you've got the Justice card. So this is commitments, right? So you're really rethinking your commitments. And then you've got the Son of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands. So this tells me that there are amazing connections coming in, potentially international or foreign connections coming in, but there's also you going through a process of elimination. So it's like you're saying, okay, this gets to stay, this gets to go, and, you know, now I have to move forward. There are new commitments coming in, but they will need to be considered very carefully here, all right? And then on the 16th of September, Venus is coming into a retrograde. Venus is coming into a square with Jupiter retrograde. So this is happening across that 7th house where that Jupiter retrograde is again, but it's squaring Venus, which is in your 10th house. Venus has been there for a while, doing her thing. She's now direct, right? So this is important for a few reasons. Venus squared Jupiter the first time on June the 11th. She did it again on the 21st of August, but at that point Venus was retrograde. This time round, the third and final connection, Jupiter is retrograde. So this is where you're getting to finally see what that transit back then had set into motion for you from around the 11th of June-ish. You know, give or take a few days either side. So your relationship and relationships in general and your career are kind of squaring off here, right? So what you desire for yourself and the relationships you have through your work has probably been shifting a lot. This is seeing you getting way more comfortable with living in the limelight as well, which I think is brilliant. Allowing yourself to be seen, to be noticed, and even heard. Venus rules your 12th house and your 7th house, right? So this is all about relationships and maybe even Potentially for some of you, a schedule clash, right? Jupiter rules your second house and your fifth house. So again, relationships and finances here. So there could be something where you decide in some regard to put yourself first, and it causes a clash of some sort in a relationship. Personal, professional, or platonic. It doesn't just have to be your significant other. I've got to be honest with you, it kind of won't be new for a lot of you. This will have already come up before. So you'll have started that process, as I say, around the 11th of June, and now you're finding a way to resolve it. For this, you've got the King of Swords, so the Father of Swords. So a Libran male could feature for you in this. You've got the Empress card. So the Empress is Venus. Venus rules Libra. This King of Swords is definitely a Libra, all right? And then you've got the Father of Cups. Wow. So you've got two kings here. Two kings represents minor council. And so this could be that you are, maybe for some of you, you're having like a legal discussion of some sort, like there's a sit down here. Maybe there's you looking for ways and loopholes to get through or past some kind of scheduling conflict. And the thing that I love most about it is because it's the Empress, it's like you are looking for the easiest way out. And what I mean by that is it's not that you're shirking responsibility. It's more a case of you're looking for what is the easiest way that we can navigate this, where nobody gets hurt, where we all can kind of move forward in a way that is amicable, where I get what I want and you get what you want, right? Or at least, we reach a happy medium where nobody is kind of left out of pocket. I'm kind of here for this. I don't know. I like it. All right. And then on the 24th of September, the final transit that I want to talk about is Mars, your ancient ruling planet, is coming into a direct opposition with Chiron. Now, for you, this is happening across your maintenance axis, the 6th and 12th house. Mars is going to be in the sign of Aries, which for you is your 12th. Mars is going to be in Aries, which is your 6th house. Now, this is, let me put it to you, right? So this day in general has a lot of powerful energy going on. Now, this is presenting potentially for all of us in some way, shape or form, a wound, right? But it also presents with it a wound, a challenge, an issue. It presents with it the seeds of the healing that are going to make themselves known to you. Mars is the power of energy, action, irritation, excitation, war. It's a severing energy where we remove things or cut things away. And it's in the sign of its fall, right? In your 12th house. Now, Mars in the 12th can bring violent dreams. It can just bring more challenges. It can exacerbate our personal sort of proclivities where we get in our own way, our self-sabotaging tendencies. But it means that there's a sense of irritation and frustration and annoyance around because Mars wants to do this, right? Whereas Libra likes to do this. Mars is a Martian energy. Libra is a Venusian energy. Mars is the ruler of that Chiron at the moment because it's in the sign of that Mars rules, which is Aries. So the way forward is maybe not necessarily so clear. Enter this reading. I'm being a dork, don't worry. So that being said, it's in an opposition to its own energy, right? In some way, shape or form. So the way that we heal from this, and the reason I say this is, Chiron represents, because it's in Aries, it represents for all of us at the moment what it has cost you to be yourself, right? In a specific area of your life. That Chiron being in the sign of Aries for you is in that 6th house. What has it cost you to be yourself in the area of work? Where have you come up against enemies or challenges in some way, shape or form? Where has your health suffered for your work, etc.? Because the 6th house is also your health and vitality. Mars in your 12th house suggests that a spiritual energy or a spiritual action, rather, is the way through for you, right? It's the one that's going to set you free from a bodily or a health-wise or a professional wound of some kind. Chiron in that 6th house is showing you where your routines, your habits, your daily sort of grind, and even enemies have got the better of you in the past and how that has cost you in some way. The answer for you is a spiritual one, right? It's Mars in the 12th house, which is the most spiritual house of all houses, even more spiritual than the 9th house. So this really is something that could speak directly to your soul. Healing comes through self-trust, through self-honesty, and deep healing occurs here, maybe even at night, potentially in your dreams, possibly even through some kind of ancestral lineage healing, right? So this is really, really powerful stuff for you guys, and you know, in obviously true Scorpionic fashion, all right? So you could be doing this work in your dreams. So if you wake up and you're like, gosh, I'm exhausted, it's because you're so active in your dreams. You're getting downloads, you're doing healings. There's all kinds of amazing, powerful, and potentially ground-shattering stuff happening here for you as well. All right, so potent stuff. All right, for this, you have the Five of Cups. So there's some kind of release here with the Four of Pentacles, okay? And the Magician card, right? So the way that you succeed materially, financially, out there in the world, and the way that you get through this transit, the magic is really going to happen when you release the material world, and when you do the healing that you need to by doing the release work, right? So as I said, for out of every single sign, for you, because this is happening across that 6th, 12th house axis, and Mars is in the 12th, the action has to be spiritual. This could be meditation, it could be yoga, it could be Tai Chi, it could be a mantra practice, right? It could be a chanting practice, something that is very active but is very spiritual in nature. That is how you get through this. Now, the Virgo new moon for you is happening in that 11th house of benefactors, higher goals, wishes, aspirations, and dreams. So for some of you, you could literally just be changing your future plans, right? You got the Gate 51 and shock. So there's, you know, this is basically the Tower card. So it does suggest that that new moon is potentially coming with a big realization about a goal or a dream that you've had, that maybe you say to yourself, actually, I don't have this goal or dream anymore. It doesn't feel like what I actually want from my future. And then that Aries full moon is, you've got the Gate 33 and looking back. And for you, that full moon is happening in your 6th house. Work, daily habits. If you were ever going to have a moment where an enemy, somebody that works at cross purposes to you, etc., is going to be revealed, that full moon will do it. A 6th house, 12th house axis full moon, whichever one it's in, always highlights to you where you end up getting to see some kind of illumination that you weren't aware of before. And the Gate 33 and looking back, this is what's known as a remembrance gate. So it basically reveals something to you from or about the past. So whoever this person is, or you know, whatever that challenge is, it could have been one that has actually been around for some time, and now you see it in the stark light of the full moon. It cannot be ignored. Like, you'll see it for exactly what or who it is. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.